So on the 20th of September, just this Monday, Apple finally released to everyone the new iOS 15 that we've all been waiting for. Now, prior to this, there had been beta releases where developers, game and app developers and just tech enthusiasts who want to get a sneak peek into what is being developed before it's publicly available, use the beta versions. I decided not to do that this year, and I have my eyes focused on Microsoft because, Windows 11 is coming out soon. I have had it for about 48 hours, and so this video is my honest review, impressions, and just my thoughts around the operating system. Now, not to bust your bubble, but the iOS 15 is not necessarily a very monumental OS upgrade. It's a sequel to iOS 14. And what you have instead of like a massive change on rollout is that you've actually got little pockets of updates and advancements and enhancements here and there. And what that does is it still gives a truly pleasing aesthetic experience. I mean, come on, it's Apple, and we know they do this very well. So let's dive in and see what iOS 15 is all about. Hi, my name is Peter, and on this channel I like to share really cool tech tips and tricks and really just cool ways you could use tech to level up your life. Now, let's dive into iOS 15. And getting started, let's look at Focus. Focus is a new feature that comes to the iOS 15 operating system, and a lot of people actually call it Do Not Disturb on steroids. I really find this very handful because you're able to configure different focus modes like work, shooting mode like when I'm making videos like this, coding mode, and all sorts of modes. And the cool thing is for each mode you configure, you're able to set from the kind of landing pages you see, restrict yourself from accessing notifications, and even restricting the people who can reach to you in that scenario. So take a very standard example like work mode for me, or the work focus mode. In the work focus mode, only colleagues of mine and work tools like Notion, Slack, and my email apps are available, and those are the only tools I get notifications from. It's a really cool way to separate your concerns and enhance your productivity on this operating system, and I've come to really love it. Now moving on to the browser, Safari has had some pretty interesting upgrades here, and I don't think I fully agree with Apple on this one. They've moved the address bar and tabs to the bottom of the page, and it's quite interesting. You may say for usability cases, when your thumb cannot reach the top part of the address bar and you quickly want to type, having to engage both your thumbs, probably that may be the reason why they did that. But I don't think it sells for me. And thankfully, like I said, you can quickly restore normalcy in the Safari app by going to the settings and actually restoring your tabs to how it was in iOS 14. Now let's talk about FaceTime. FaceTime has had some interesting new features, and one which I really like is link sharing. This means that you're now able to extend invitation to people who necessarily don't have an iPhone to hop on a FaceTime call with you. So you can share with Windows and Android users, for example, and they can actually join via the link and participate on a call. I think it's a really nice feature and I like it. However, native functionalities like screen sharing and other things that come with the FaceTime app are limited for this third-party users. Maybe Apple is trying to take a big bite at the piece of cake, which is teleconferencing apps with Zoom and Teams, by joining them in the war that is video teleconferencing apps. Also, in addition to link sharing is portrait mode, and portrait mode comes to FaceTime. It's just a really nice way where you have your blurred out backgrounds and the focus is on the subject of the phone call, and it just enhances the entire experience of phone calls. Now, another really cool feature that I kind of like in this OS is notification summary. And simply, notification summary gives you the power to actually select notifications that you deem not really time sensitive. And with this, you can stack them together, and the phone is actually going to present them to you as a summary at the time which you define within the app. It's a really cool way to actually see things later, even though you deem them not time sensitive and you could wait. So for example, notifications from social media or apps that are not necessarily time sensitive compared to what you may be doing currently will be stacked within the notifications bar, and you can actually get to access them later and then just go through them and catch up with your notifications. I think this is a really cool way, and I'm starting to see a theme around productivity with the iOS 15, where Apple seems to be focusing a lot on giving you the exclusive power to control what you see and how it affects your life and your productivity, and I'm all up for that. Now the next one is not necessarily something new, and Android users have had this for a while, and if you use the Evernote app, you've also probably had this. It's called Live Text, but it's so nice to see this embedded within the operating system. And the way it works is that you pick an image or you take a picture and you're able to immediately convert that into text that you can reuse across messaging, notes, etc. It's a really handy feature, and the way it works is that within every text field now where you type a message or where you have to type and toggle up the keyboard, you would always have the option to trigger your camera and pull up live text from either a live image feed, within the app. And it really is a very nifty tool. It's one of those things that isn't necessarily a new innovation, but it just works. And trust me, Apple has a really good way of embedding this within their systems. Now, some other things I actually did find quite interesting, and I will tag them as honorable mentions within the operating system, are the weather app. I really find the weather app quite intuitive and really beautiful to use. Secondly, Apple has the hide my email functionality. Now, while this comes with a subscription of the iCloud Plus, it actually helps you to limit what actually gets to your inbox by creating an alias on iCloud, and you could use that for services as well. And finally, Siri works offline. Now, definitely you know that Siri has always said this phrase: Siri is not available to connect to the internet, please try again later. We all know that annoying phase. Siri is able to do some functionalities now offline on your devices, but will still require internet access to be able to leverage on its full power, because it needs to connect to the cloud for some commands and responses. But you can do things like turn off your flashlight and local operations that are local and can run offline. And I think that's quite an interesting one. I mean, it took a long time to come, but it's finally here. Unfortunately, at launch, ID and SharePlay are not available right now, but Apple has promised us that they will be available later in the future. So, well, that's iOS 15. Like I said, it's not a monumental operating system change. It's in the lineup of the iOS, and you can rightly say has been a sequel to iOS 14. But above all, Apple is really good at actually rolling up even minor updates and making them really feel monumental. Do you have iOS 15? Have you upgraded to the new OS? Share your thoughts with me, and I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comment section. Till I come your way again, please like, share, subscribe. Peace.